Hi, happy Wisdom Wednesday. It's Jim and Ruth Sharon coming here from HeartWise Relationship Academy. Oh boy, how have the holidays been for you? They've been relaxing and busy for us. What would you say?
Mainly relaxing. I hope not too stressful for you guys. I hope you've managed to have a bright, cheerful, delightful time
Hopefully.
overall.
So today we're going to finish up our month exploration of connecting spiritually. Jim and I have identified HeartWise as a next stage in our development as we become more attuned to ourselves and to each other and can have healthier interactions and relationships with each other and with anybody. You know, these apply to any relationship
of the heart, not just the knowledge of the mind.
Exactly. Yes. The heart is known to mediate between the head and the gut. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you know in your gut? So different ways of accessing wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So today we want to explore the dance of the darkness and the light. We're just coming out of the solstice and we're into the Hanukkah has just ended and Christmas has just ended. And we've been bringing light into the darkness through our holidays. So let's just talk a little bit about the dance of the dark and the light. That's what I thought we'd play with. Is that okay?
Well, that's good. Yes. I really think that spirituality encompasses the all, the light and the dark.
Absolutely.
And learning to embrace the dark side, not to be cynical about it, not to wallow in the plenty of pain that is going on in the world, hopefully not in your personal life, excessively for sure, but certainly there's plenty of it in the world, plenty of it in our own country here.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruth and I have dedicated ourselves to being light workers. I hope you're joining us in that regard. Mm-hmm. But we certainly need to be able to embrace, to be able to make peace with the shadow sides of ourselves.
Yeah, the losses, the brokenness, we all grieve at some level, you know, something might catalyze our grieving. Somebody passes over, or we get a diagnosis, or we move to a new city, or some kind of loss, right? There's always transitions. Yeah, going through changes can set us off into a wanting to cocoon and wanting to hide, being scared. You know, there's lots of ways we explore the dark. So we just thought we'd shed the light on the dark a little bit.
Especially with all the bunkering down that's going on these days, and with polarization, political polarization, religious polarization, and causes so many wars, most wars on the planet. And it's such a divisive time, and certainly wasn't that case when I was young.
Well, we didn't know about it as much. It was all there. This is
I think that this is more intensified.
It is, yeah. Well, I was just thinking that all different faiths and religions and groups and, you know, ages through the times, all people have looked at this light and dark. It's not a new concept at all. It's been around always. The yin yang symbol is one of those that has endured from, I think it's from China. And it's the image. Yeah, the image is a globe and we're in the light, but there's this pocket of dark that can take us into the dark, like what's missing or what somebody might have done to hurt us or how things don't feel right or whatever could take us into the dark. And when we're in the dark, we could see a little bit of encouragement or a ray of hope or something that takes us back into the light. So it's the dynamic, it's the play between the light and the dark, and not to be afraid of, not to polarize the dark as the bad and the light as the good.
Yeah, how do we unify that?
Yes,
that duality that is a big part of what the play on earth.
Say some more about that.
Well, I don't know how much more there really is to say. You can see it everywhere. I mean, not only light and dark, but night and day are parallel. Right, left, up, down.
Right, wrong.
The two parties in so many of our governments. That's not true everywhere in the world, but we have so much of this, the duality that can be made into polarization and opposition.
And how does it happen in our own hearts and in our own families, right?
Right.
Not just on the globe, but we're the emanation of it. Yeah, if I have that battle internally, one voice says this and one voice says that, now I'm battling, using my resources for battling. Right. Or if you and I get into that, we're using our
Do we ever do
resources
that?
occasionally.
Not as much as we used to, though, do we?
No.
I was being facetious, of course. We're human beings. We're gonna, and I wouldn't even want a life that's totally even keel, flatlined. Yeah, but it's learning how to uh, be in relationship collaboratively, so that we can work through our differences and our conflicts in a
Yes.
peaceful and constructive way.
That's the ideal. That's what HeartWise means to me. So we identified these 6 qualities of being HeartWise, and connecting spiritually is one of them that we're exploring this month. Next month, we're going to explore living well, what it means to take really good care of ourselves, and that self-care is not selfish, and how to live well. So in this darkness and light conversation, I just jotted down a couple notes that I'd like to go over. Okay.
I might have some more thoughts too.
So we're guides for people, we help people go into these dark areas. I think of myself sometimes as having a flashlight on my head, and we're spelunkering into the cave where we have a flashlight. We can see where we're going a little bit. So how can we bring light into the darkness? And some of that is just through self-awareness, mindfulness. Wow, when he said that, my gut tightened up, my jaw tightened up. That awareness can take us into a place where we might feel sad that we didn't get treated the way we wanted to, or that somebody hurt us by omission or by harsh words, or, whatever, that there's pain. And just to honor that brokenness, that we all feel the pain. Our hearts have been broken
The universality of it. Yes.
Yes. So being able to have some tools like journaling, or talking to a friend, or in your imagination, bringing your friends around you as you unpack this and cry, like there's just ways to go into it that's safe. So setting up some safe guidelines is really helpful.
Nice.
I was going to tell the story about this little boy who was my counseling client. He was 10 years old, and his dad got a cancer diagnosis, and he was so scared. And he just felt like he was walking around the rim of this black hole, and he was so afraid of falling in there, of all the fears and the what ifs, and, entertaining the possibility of his daddy not being there. And all that stuff was just so intense. And so he rigged up this thing. He was so clever. I think the way it filtered out was that he had this post, and then he had this belt around himself. And if he started getting into the dark, like he felt like he was going to fall into that bottomless pit, he had a remote control in his pocket, and he'd push the button and the belt would like pull him back to the post. And so he kept himself safe that way. Kids, huh? I know. So keep ourselves safe, make agreements. I'll give myself 20 minutes to just feel what I'm feeling, and then I'll go sweep the floor and get the kids ready for whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, just timing.
Same with dealing with grief.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So making time to unpack, and space and permission, and support and resourcing to go into the darkness. And then the last thing I just wanted to say was, I made the note, titrating, that word titrating. Yes. I remember when I was getting medicine at the hospital, and they put the bag up there with the intravenous stuff, and they'll have the salt water come through and then start titrating just a little bit of the medicine to see how we tolerate it. And they add a little more and a little more until it's a dose. That's the same with our emotions. If we just gave ourselves that full-blown yikes, that's disabling. It feels like we're getting knocked over by a tidal wave. So sometimes we have to just unpack a little bit at a time and just, parse it out.
Right. I was just thinking when you were saying that about the sun, if we were any closer to the sun as an earth, we'd burn up. And if we got too close to God's light, we might even burn up. It's a journey. So it's a gradual process. And I don't know if this is making sense what I'm saying. Is it?
Well, keep going. I was saying not to fall into the darkness. You're saying not to expose ourselves too much to the light, like find a balance. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I thought there was a parallel, but
well, there could be. We don't want too much, dousing ourselves in one
fire hosing. Yeah.
I don't know. Just finding balance.
I was thinking of your titration, that we have to have that right balance.
Yes.
And it's an adjustment. And And developing spirituality is really a gradual process. Starts with recognizing the all-pervasive intelligence and love in the world, and perhaps the universe. I believe in the universe is full of that. So, but it's a gradual process to let in that light. And we're too much, I think, in our world, trained into the downside, the cynicism, the negativity.
For me, why
Yes.
me? Ain't it awful?
Yes.
The world sucks, and I suck along with it.
Well, there's a lot that does suck, isn't there?
Yeah,
But we
that's true.
can just drown ourselves in that and
Mhm.
be Eeyore. Well, woe was me and woe was all of us. Or we can be light workers, and that's the invitation.
See the problem and find the solution, right? We keep getting
Yeah.
requests to go help with different social action causes. Just take action, walk our talk. Or we just heard a concert and the lead song was Praying with Our Feet.
And be the light.
And be the light. Those were the songs we heard. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're HeartWise Relationship Academy. We're coming to the end of 2022. You may be watching this at a different time, but we do have
a simple thing. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with us.
Exactly.
Right here, right now.
The ripple effect is huge. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So I was just going to invite people to use the code for some sale pricing on our end of the year. We have micro courses in our heartwiseacademy.com. And if you pick one you like, mine is called Finding Center in the Chaos, and yours is called
Couples meditation.
Yeah. And then there's about 7 or 8 more. So pick one, and here's the code HW fall. HW is HeartWise, fall is the season, and 50. So you get 50% off the already reasonably priced
Related
courses.
Christmas gift for you guys.
Yeah. So spread the word on heartwiseacademy.com and share your feedback with us.
See you in the new year.
See you in the new year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Be HeartWise. Keep practicing. It's little by little.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.